Good morning to everybody. How you doing? This is another roll reveal. It's number 826, 1941 Philadelphia plastic tube roll. Looked pretty good to me when I gave it a short inspection. We'll see what it looks like on the inside. Good morning to Dirty Water. Anybody else who happens to be lurking out there? There is my roll of coins. No idea what's inside. I've only looked at it very briefly for grade to be sure that the coins were acceptable. I haven't looked at anything else. So let's see what we have in store for us today. Good morning, Tim. All right, coin number 1 is going to go to Taco John. And let's see what we have here. Always try to take into account what you've seen so far when you are going through a roll, because a lot of times, especially with an original roll, there's going to be a repetition of dies. You get a particular die, you start screaming through your roll, and you'll notice they repeat. Makes your first pass through a roll go pretty quickly. We can do a pretty good inspection talking through the whole thing and get an entire roll done inside of about 45 minutes. Coin number 2 goes to Mark. Let's see what we have here on coin number 2. Be real careful, trying not to miss anything. I think we have one of those double dies that shows on the T. Yeah, broken T. Get the lighting on this just right. Yeah, there you go. That is actually a double die. Rather minor, but it's definitely there. I haven't spoken to anyone yet today, which is why I have just a little bit of a raspy thing going on in my throat here I've got to get rid of. Looking for markers now. It looks like, yeah. No, I don't have, looks like there might be a die scratch right here. I'm thinking that could be a die scratch, so I'll try to give that a shot. I know it looks like I've got something out in front of the out in front of the mouth here and down under the chin, so we'll try that for our marker. Let's see the reverse on this one. See what we've got. Nothing there. All right, so coin number 2 is a broken T double die obverse. Let's check coin number 3. This one's for Jackalope Herdmaster. These are pretty good looking coins. 1941 is not a roll you're going to see every day. You know what I'm saying? They're kind of scarce. Getting more so all the time. Nothing on the obverse on that one. Let's check the reverse real quick. Yeah, nothing on the reverse. Got 5 reveals scheduled for today. Hopefully I can get through all of them, get them done. We do have a reveal show coming up this evening where we will be selling spots In this week's roll, we've got, I'm going to have 5 rolls, unsure exactly which ones all of them are going to be, but I do know I have a 51 plane, a 54S, and a 55D. Beyond that, I'm not 100% certain right now what I'm going to do. I'll pick all that out after the reveals are done. Good morning, Dan. All right, that one for crypto has nothing in it. Try the next one. Chuck Patillo. Ooh, nice earlier die state there. I like this one, nice and crispy. It's got a little bit of a fingerprint on it, though. All right, nothing on that one. That's coin number 5. Now moving on to coin number 6. Jim? Mr. Fletcher. What does Mr. Fletcher get? Early 1940s, always very important to be watching the word trust. There are a lot of them that have little nubs and nibbles in the word trust that turn out to be listed double dies. Nothing else there. Now coin number 7. Paul Hampton. Yes, Dan, I got the package Saturday. I haven't opened it yet, but I will get to it here very shortly. My life here in the past week or so has been, I'll get to it when I get to it type thing. I've been kind of busy. I am working on catching up to the technology people use today in building websites. I am very determined to have a new coppercoins.com out there ready for you to use before the end of the year. I am very determined doesn't mean it's going to happen. I'm very determined meaning I'm going to see to it as closely as I can that it happen. I am working now on the design of the website, going all the way down to the responsiveness of using phones and tablets to view it and being able to see everything that you would like to see without a lot of extra effort. I'm just working on finishing up the homepage design for phones. There's 3 different versions of the website depending on the size of your screen. There is a full web version, there is a tablet version, and there will be a phone version as well. As your browser screen gets smaller and smaller in pixel size, the program is set to auto-detect that. There's a double die for you right there. On the bottom of the crosslet on the T right here. That's actually a pretty nice looking one there. Yep. Definitely small, but it's definitely there. That one's for Stan. Stan the man gets a good one. I wonder if there's any doubling anywhere else on here. There is. Right up here on the inside of the top of the E in we, it matches the doubling over here. You've got some right here as well. Very small arc of the coin. I can see a little touch of it here in the D and in the O as well, I do believe. There we have it. Most visible inside the crosslet of the T. Let's check the reverse side. Once I get the foundation of this design dialed in, the remainder of the design should go rather quickly. There are slightly blotchy coins. One for Frosty here. Let's see what Frosty gets. It's definitely another one. Let's get this focus dialed in here. Look at there. That one's got a little nub down below the left crosslet of the T. Hello, Alex. Yeah, I think we're going to hold that one out too. It may not be a double die, but I'm kind of thinking there's a decent chance it is. Could just be a gouge, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. Pass it through Eric's hands and see what he thinks. Boy, isn't that close up? That's like hitting you in the face right there. Nothing on it, though. I'll move back before we get moving on the other coin here for Shinbone. Dice a little better. Not that side. What about this side? Check the reverse here real quick and see what we have. Looks like a very, very, very slight Class 6 double. Just a little tiny bit of stretching on the E and the dot and on the left wheat there. It's not going to be countable. Just not enough here. But for those of you with lizard eyes, you can see that it is very, very slight. There is a little bit of a doubling right there. Coin number 14 for Alex. Nothing on that side. And nothing on that side. Okay. Number 15 now for Kurt. So I got nothing on this one either. It's all okay. We'll just keep looking. Number 16, Nanostacks. Got nothing there. Something aqua. Michael Hernandez is up next. Nothing on this side. Let's check the other side. We're up to 18 coins. We're checking on the reverse side. Just to give it a good shot. Rolls that are this scarce, I don't like missing anything, you know. Frosty. There's another one of those. Nice earlier die state looking coin there. I like it. I like it, I like it. That one's for Frosty. Frosty the Snowman. How about coin number 20? One on Sissy now. There's a doubled eyelid right there. Very nice one, too. That also appears to have a doubled T. First T in trust there on the left side. So, unless there's something really odd going on with 1941, we may have a few double dies in this roll. So far, it looks like we're doing pretty well. We'll check the reverse on half of the roll. And then we'll fall off the reverses. Looks like we're not really finding anything on the reverses anyway. Number 22, Taco John. Let's see what Taco John gets. Nothing there. Up next, though, number 23, going to Crypto and Shrimp Cowboy. Let's see. Oof. That's a ugly spot. With no doubling. How about number 24, Mickey? All right, nothing there. 25, mid-roll. Go to Carl. And nothing there. Nothing on the reverse. Now number 26, back to Sissy. All right, nothing there. Next roll, 1944D. Always exciting looking through a 1944D roll. You never know what you're going to find, including the possibility of an OMM. There we go. Back to a doubled eyelid. This one is a different looking doubled eyelid. Very nice. Wait a minute. What do I see there? Nothing. My eyeballs. My eyeballs. That's what I see there. All right, moving on. Coin number 28 now. Another one. Looks like the same die. It is the same die. Should have a die scratch over here under the Y of Liberty. There we do. Nana Stacks. G'day to you. Hey, look at that. You popped up just in time. One for Nana Stacks here. Oh, I remember that eyelid. There you go. Doubling on the crosslid of the T right here. Doubling in the eye. You have a double die. How about that? You walk in, say hi, and I pick a double die for you. Just like that. Why are some of the right dots in the motto on the reverse looking double the size to compare to the left? I do not know. I haven't noticed that. We will look. Number 30, Carl. We'll look at the obverse on Carl's, and we'll flip it over and take a look at the reverse and see if it matches that. Get us a little bit better in focus. There we go. That's that first die that I found in the roll. Nice little doubling on the crosslid of the T. Nice early dice date coin. All right. Let's take a look at the dots. Oh, I can tell you why, most likely. Let's get coin number 13. You said 13? Let me get 13 out. I have a pretty good idea. I know what's going on. We're reverting back now to coin number 13 for shin bone. No, this is a little bit different. It's die wear. See the all the little fluffy, feathery stuff coming up out of the letters here? We've also got it here. That just makes the dot look a little bit larger. And you look over here and it's a little more crisp, which means the dot looks a little smaller. That's all you got going on there. The other thing that can cause that is when you have a little bit of grease in the crevices of the die. That little dot is actually a beveled dot. It kind of, it's like a trapezoid. And if you don't strike it up all the way, the result can be a coin that looks like it has larger details. And that's because, well, the base of the dot is larger around than the top of the dot. So if you're only striking up the base and forcing the rest of it to stay flat, then you don't get that shape that you're looking for, and it stays larger around because you're only striking up the very bottom area of the dot. I have seen that happen within this roll. I didn't really mention it, but there's another one of those. That's our third different one. Third different crosslet T doubled eyelid die of this roll. Let's go with number 33 now, Mr. Jackalope, Herdmaster. Very nice looking coin. No doubling, and it has a little bit of a struck through right there in the middle of the cheek. Not a great spot for a struck through. Makes it look like it was damaged, but it's not. That's just how the coin was struck. Patria, it's been a while since we've seen you. Welcome back to the family, back to the crowd. Hopefully everything's going well for you. Got a few rolls to go through today. 5 total. Next one's 1944D. Then we have a 1953 plane, 1958D, and 1961D. There we go. Another one of those doubled eyelids. Right out there in front of the eye. And we also have that, looks like a doubling on the crosslid of the T on the left side there. Got another one of those. And I have lost track of which pile is which. Pull now. Mr. Hampton. A fingerprint, but we do have a doubled eyelid with a, there we go. There. Doubled crosslet right there. Doubled eyelid right here. Well, you can't see that because it's too small here. Let's do that. And let's do this. And then let's do this. Let's try to be professional about this. Okay, so we've got the doubled eyelid right there. You can see it on the inside of the eye. And we've got the doubled crosslet on the left-hand side there. Pulling out some pretty decent stuff. I'm actually very pleased that we're getting goodies out of a 1941 roll. Shows that it's an original roll, even though it's, well, obviously kind of gimped up a little bit here and there. A couple of little spots and blotches. All right, number 38 next, Carl. Carl? Is that a... Nope, it's a mark on the coin. That's a scratch. I thought it was a hair. Nothing going on there. Right, an eye exam. Right about that. I just had mine about a week ago. And pleased to say that nothing has changed over the last year. So I am still just as blind as I was last year, although not blinder. Right? You got a pop-up ad? That's something on your computer. That's not the broadcast or YouTube. That's something in... you've got malware on your computer most likely. If you don't have malware bytes, I would suggest that. Go to the Play Store, search for malware bytes. Or go to Google and search for it. There's another one of those. Nice little double eyelid there. We're going to have a crosslet doubling right there on the T. Yay! Yeah, malware bytes is good for a phone too. You can just go to the iStore or the Google Play Store, depending on which kind of phone you have, and search for Malware Bytes. MALWAREBYTES. Malware Bytes. Load that up and run it. It will probably find problems in your phone. Speaking of phone, I'm going to show you guys something here at the end of the roll. We're up to coin number 43 now, so stick around, because at the end of this roll, I will bring up what I have for a new design. There we go. Take a look at that. There's another one of the first double dies that I found, a little crosslet T, a real sharp little thing there. That one's for Mickey. Number 44 now. I'll show you what I've got for a design, for the new design of the new homepage. There we go. Another crosslet T one. That one for Sureg. Now number 45. Taco John. Yeah, in no shape or form does YouTube or any of my content create pop-up ads. If you got pop-up ads, you've got something going on with your phone. Another one of those. Little crosslet T. Double die. Very nice looking thing. And we move on. Coin number 46 now. Jim Fletcher. Jim, what do we got for you? Well, it looks like we've got nothing. So, not a train wreck, just nothing at all. Now, Shinbone, coin number 47. Oh my gosh. Is that something they can fix, Nanostacks? Like draw fluid off of it or something? I can imagine how that could really be causing a lot of pain. Number 48, Mark. Mark. Nothing there. 49 now. Jackalope Herdmaster. Oof. Well, you take care of yourself up until then, for sure. No straining. No extra lifting or anything like that. I can tell you that the doctor would tell you that much. All right, so we're done with the roll, but I've got something to show you. Let me bring it up here. This is my project, and it's got 3 different designs. So there's what the homepage of the website will look like with there we go. We can get it dialed in there. Okay, so this is 3 different versions, and the third one's not finished yet, but this is what the website will look like on a full-blown computer. This is what it will look like on a tablet, and this is what it will look like on a cell phone. There's the tablet and the cell phone view. And so that is what I'm working on anyway. I've got a whole bunch of other views that I've already taken care of, but this will give you a really good idea of where I stand right now. Been working on this for, about a week and a half, 2 weeks. Wait a minute, let me get this moved over. There. But that's a sneak peek, folks. That's what I'm working on for a design. When it's finished, it will be fully responsive. It will shrink to the phone size, and it will grow to a full... This is what it would look like on your TV or on your full-blown computer, regular monitor screen. So I thought I'd share that with you. Upgrade photos to 5K. I'm not really sure what 5K means, but the photos are what they are. They don't really come much larger. So, no, there won't be much of any upgrade on the photos. The way they will display might be a little bigger. But yeah, no, I don't have a way to grow photos and make them larger. We would have to go back through and take all 43,000 photos again. And, well, we don't have enough lifetime left for that. So we'll continue with the photos in and how they are. But anyhow, that is what I've been working on. That and a quite decent share of code and other research into web hosting, image hosting, content delivery networks, just a bunch of different stuff to try to bring the website into the full 21st century. So that is what I have to share. Join me here in about 5, maybe 10 minutes. We'll bring up 1944 D-roll, which is coming up next. And I'll see you then. Have a good day.